but they are not supported on iOS Safari. I have to download the app.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You can leave it. You can leave it.
Okay, next time I'll do
Next time.
I didn't realize they had an app. I should have had that. That's okay.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right, fellas. Welcome back to Lockdown Sports. As you can watch us go through some technical difficulties, I think Netherlands and France also had a lot of technical difficulties today, my friends. 0-0 in what was meant to be a blockbuster Saturday morning for me, a decent Friday afternoon. What time was it over there, Badr?
It's Friday, 3 p.m. was the start of the game. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you can see, I am 7 a.m. on 4 hours of sleep. Really happy that I get to watch this France team play without Paul Pogba, without Kylian Mbappe, and we'll get into it slowly. I'll just run you through the game. You know, this is our 9th live stream, fellas, and we're getting good at this. So I might just run you through the game. You don't have to watch the highlights. Just listen in. Jeremy Frimpong, first minute, runs through on goal. And the man most Man United fans want as their right back is definitely more of a right winger, I would say. And obviously, Magnan makes the saves. Both teams really sloppy on the ball today. And a lot of that down to one man who we'll get into. But Rabiot had the chance of his life in that first half. And he did a Udonis, I believe in you moment to Griezmann. Definitely should have put that away. Griezmann had a couple of chances as well, fellas. Xavi Simons blast one in the second half. What did you make of that? Because obviously he got called offside with Dumfries infringing on play. And I know how you feel about Dumfries and all of Inter Milan, but yeah. So, yeah.
I thought it should have been disallowed. I hate the whole interference rules in general. I think it's all a bunch of crap. Just I don't care if they interfere with the line of sight. Like, okay, obviously there's a certain level to it. Like, you can't just literally if you just eliminated it completely, they could just have a player right in front of the goalkeeper, right? So obviously we don't want that. But there is a certain level of we've just gone over the top as usual with football rules. We always go over the top, and
You
now
got to.
everything like that. It's so annoying because it's the same problem with every football rule possible. There's just no consistency, and there's no chance of consistency because of how these rules are written. These rules are so ambiguous and they're so referee discretion based. So we keep getting a million different interpretations every time by a billion different people. It sucks.
The thing that I don't get pissed at referee discretion. Obviously, that is a problem in itself. The thing with me that's always frustrated me over the years has been the difference in the rules with UEFA and each of the leagues.
Right.
And everyone, I saw a clip of people saying last week, "Oh, what's the handball rule?" We know what it is now. We don't necessarily agree with it. That's for goddamn sure.
We think we know, but we don't really know.
Yeah,
I did a whole handball video. Nobody knows. I promise.
Exactly. I've got the main guy for the handball rule right now.
It's the handball rule sucks. It just because, like you said, just the different interpretations of every law. Like, I'll give the easiest example. The easiest example is if you watch Theo Hernandez in Serie A, right? Watch Theo Hernandez in every single Serie A game. He will try to dribble out the back, and he'll get caught up, and he'll get put in a really bad position, right? And he'll dive. He'll fake he'll create some contact. He'll dive, and he'll get the free kick. And it releases a lot of pressure every single time. And in Serie A, they give it every single week, all the damn time. And the moment we qualify for the Champions League, it was instantly apparent that Champions League refs are just not going to give that. And you could see that he himself made an adjustment in the Champions League going forward. He just stopped doing it because he realized, oh, I'm just giving the ball away now. Like, I'm just giving the ball away, and there's only 3 defenders left, and this is a problem. So he just stopped doing it because Champions League referees just flat out, even though it's even the Italian referees when they get to the Champions League, they just officiate in different by a different sense.
Man, the bipolar disorder across football is crazy. And we'll talk about refereeing a little bit later. Let's get back to the game, though. Do you guys think the goal should have stood? Probably, yeah. But you see the top I'm wearing? Don't mind it. Don't mind it. Don't mind it. And I'm from Australia. I'm from India. I've got no dog in this race. I would have easily brought out the Depay jersey if he scored. We're shameless here, fellas. This is the perfect month for me. I get to watch the Copa. I get to watch the Euros. Okay, it's a break from the cricket. It's a break from my weekend league. It's a break from the NBA finals where I've actually got stakes on the line. And I just get to sit back and watch, and we'll talk about the entertainment value very shortly. But yeah, not going to say too much, but I agree. I agree with any Jorginho slander that comes through our comments. I really appreciate that, Wassa. But let's get back to the game, because is this the best France lineup for you, Bader? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. What would you do differently?
I would have played Barcola. This is the thing, right? A lot of people, obviously, first, a lot of people criticized Rabiot and his inclusion, including myself. Obviously, I criticize him. But then a lot of smart people like Umir, right? Umir on Twitter, a very smart person, and frankly understands football at a level I can't possibly get to, right? And he was describing all the good things that Rabiot provides for the team. He can drop into the 6 when Kante goes forward. He could do this, he could do that. And I understand that. And I appreciate all of that. And it's basically modeled off of what MATCHDAY did in the 2018 World Cup. I get it. I understand.
Thank you.
There's a point to having him in the team, right? That point is completely negated by the fact that Mbappe wasn't there. So the rest of the players are Thuram, Griezmann, Dembele, Kante, and Tchouaméni. Who the hell is going to score the goals? Where is the goal threat? I tweeted in the game that basically without Mbappe, they have like half a goal threat, which is Griezmann. They have half a goal threat. He's always been a pass-first player. He's always been a creative first player. They have half a goal threat. Thuram just wants to vibe. He just wants to dribble. He wants to be good link up, and he wants to chill, and he wants to do his back heels, and it's great. And he's very good with a 2-man system, but he has no interest in leading the line like that. Dembele is MIA, just completely missing in action. Like I tweeted. Like,
I saw you tweet out.
Like, because he'll do the most brilliant thing ever, and then he'll just follow it up with the dumbest thing, and you're just like, please, just like. If you're gonna do that, just do the brilliant thing, then pass to the side, like pass to the next guy, like please, it's getting ridiculous. And then Kante and Tchouaméni actually played well, but like again, where's the goal threat? So if that's gonna happen, Rabiot can't play. He can't play. It has to be Barcola. It has to be somebody who's gonna at least go for the throw. I haven't watched Barcola a million times, but I've watched him 6 or 7 times, I'd say. And every one of those times when he gets the ball, he's going that way. Whatever direction the goal is, he's going that way. Yeah, get that guy on the field. If we're not gonna have Mbappe,
you've got those guys. But the thing for me is, you talk about he can do the 6, he can do that Matuidi role. Now, can we not expect that, guys, of Camavinga? If it's going to be a central midfielder playing out there on the left, and last Euros, Deschamps had the audacity to play Adrien Rabiot at left wing back in that back 5. I think in the first half against Switzerland when they lost. And I'm just thinking, like, all the things you want. You want someone left-footed, stretch the floor, whatever you call it. And you want someone that can drop into midfield and then also have a bit more individual brilliance about them. It's calling Camavinga's name, man. It's calling Camavinga's name.
Especially because he has the versatility. He's played left back basically. And he's more skillful. He's more
simple.
He's just a flat out better player than Rabiot. I don't understand the reason why he's included. To be honest, like I get all the tactical stuff he allows you to do, but again, he's just a flawed player. So even if he's doing all those things, he's not doing it particularly well. I just see him as a hindrance in general. But he's not. But again, he's not the only problem that there was today. I mean, Griezmann missed a bunch of chances. Rabiot missed the clearest chance by not even. He didn't miss. He just didn't shoot somehow. Like I said, Marcos Thuram and Dembele were vibing. There was chat. And yeah, they just had. I came away. I was watching the game, and I'm like, we talk about France like they're the super team, right? But all I'm seeing here is like, this is just the Netherlands. Without Mbappe, they're just the
Mm.
Netherlands. Nobody thinks that the Netherlands can win this damn thing. Nobody cares about the Netherlands. Nobody is impressed by anything the Netherlands does. That's what France is, that Mbappe. They're just the Netherlands. We're just like, all right, cool. I mean, it's a team. They'll qualify from the group. But nobody thinks they have a chance at anything without Mbappe. And I think that's not the case with any of the other contenders, one player. If you took, let's say, Musiala out of Germany, now, of course, they would be significantly worse because he's a brilliant player. But we would still have them as one of the favorites, even if we had to replace him with Sane or Gnabry or whoever else. We would still have them as one of the favorites. Same thing for England if you took out Foden or Bellingham or whoever you want to equate Mbappe. Yeah, we would still be like, yeah, this is still one of the favorites. France, you take him out and you're just like, nobody's going to shoot. Nobody's going to score. Like, nobody's going to has any interest in looking at that square we're supposed to put the ball through. Nobody has any interest in it. It's weird.
Look, yeah, that goal gets a lot smaller when he's out of the team, and I guess even Kingsley Coman today would have been great on the left, like just to give it a go. Now, obviously, he's coming off the back of the one season where he hasn't won the league, and people don't talk about it, but I worry for his mental health because for 15 years winning the league, and then Harry Kane comes, you think you've got another one. I don't know how I would deal with it, but let's get on to the flip side, bro. You've got Netherlands. As you said, no one is expecting anything of them. No one cares about them, all of that. And they've got a lot of versatility, I want to say, up front. I don't mean that in a good sense in terms of the quality, but you saw today, Depay, Gakpo, Frimpong is obviously that runner on the right-hand side. Simons played centrally today. And then off the bench, as he always does, man, as he always does, Weghorst just provides you an outlet, an option, some shooting, and some defense. Do you think he should be in that lineup?
Hell no, man. Come on. You want to put Weghorst there? I mean, sure, you can put him in. It's not going to take you any farther. But, like, no, I don't think he should be in the lineup. But the Netherlands they just don't have. They have, and I say this a lot about club teams as well, if you just have a bunch of good players, then you have nothing. If you have a bunch of just good players, then you have nothing. You're not going anywhere. You need great players. And
I don't know.
Who do you think is, other than Van Dijk, who's a great player on that team?
Oh, no, not in that sense. I meant that you can still get deep.
Sure, you can make the semifinals, but nobody at any point is going to believe they can make the semifinals now. But if they make the semifinals, I'll just pick who's against them, and they can make the final. And if they make the final, I'll also pick whoever's against them. And they're just not going to win. They're not going to win because they don't have great players. And who's supposed to be the closest thing they have to a kind of great player who would really galvanize the team is Xavi Simons. And again, I haven't watched him a million times, but I've watched him 6 or 7 times, I would say. And I feel like that's enough to get an opinion. I don't see a superstar. They keep doing the whole graphics where it's like Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Saka, Xavi Simons. And I'm just like, I don't see that he's in the same group as these other guys. Now, again, maybe if I watched them 30 times, right? Maybe in those 27 other times that I didn't watch him, maybe that's where the superstardom has been. But when I've seen him, I'm just like, all right, I mean, he's good. He's good. He's obviously a very good player. And he's young, so maybe that superstardom is coming. But I don't see it now. He's a good player. So, yeah.
Yeah, like what you said, we're looking at B+, A- sort of guys that are not there yet with the youngsters. And then you talked about Thuram and Dembele vibing. I've got Memphis Depay and Cody Gakpo doing the same thing here.
Yeah.
And
France have the same problem, by the way. France without Mbappe is all. Kante is great, but without Mbappe, it is, and Griezmann is great at times. He wasn't great today, but generally, there's a lot of just good players there, and Mbappe is the guy that takes them above, you know. Without Mbappe, they have no chance in this tournament. But with Mbappe, they suddenly they just can't. That's what a great player does. That's what a truly great player does.
Mm.
Yeah. It's actually
Yeah,
funny that England have like 3 of those guys and they can't catapult themselves anywhere. Like that's what's insane.
but
They have 3
this
guys.
England hate watch
No,
is
I'm serious though,
amazing.
because they have 3 guys that if you put them on the Netherlands team, all of a sudden I'd be like, hey man, the Netherlands can win this thing. Like if they had
Yeah,
Jude Bellingham, I'd be like, hey, I mean, I wouldn't pick them, but like they're within a shot. Same thing with Foden and Saka. I mean, sorry, and Kane, obviously. They have 4 guys. They have 4 guys I could put in that category. And then it doesn't look like they have a chance of winning. It's crazy.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And we didn't get to talk about it yesterday because my boys didn't wake up for the England game at 2 a.m. And I was just messaging the group chat,
I mean,
boys,
lucky for that.
live stream,
Good
live
job
stream.
on their part, by the way. Good job.
Nah, man.
They dodged the biggest bullet ever. Why would they have wanted to wake up at 2 a.m. for that?
Nah, I understand if you intentionally slept through that game, but we had a plan to like watch it and we're like, okay, 1 hour nap, and then we're going in to the Spain-Italy game. These boys just aren't locked in. I got to have you on to actually have that full
the
day's
1 hour
focus.
nap thing, it never works. No way. It can never work.
Never works. But today, man, like aside from assessing both teams individually, I don't think there was too much entertainment value. Obviously, Mbappe has a lot to do with that. But the other thing that is so fun about a France game as a neutral is they don't track back with Dembele and Mbappe very often.
No,
and I genuinely believe, bro, I want to get your thoughts on this. If you have players that don't track back on both teams, that creates what we like a lot about international football.
True.
I think the attackers and defenders all look better.
Yeah. I mean, you saw it yesterday with it was Serbia and Slovenia, right? Serbia just were like, oh, okay, we lost the ball, cool. And then Slovenia would have multiple attacks where one guy is just dribbling past, like, for 20 yards before anybody actually, like, hey, can we go mark that guy at some point? Does somebody want to go over there? Yeah, that's what ends up happening with when it doesn't track back. And I agree with you. That's what usually is so entertaining about these games. Today, it was just like they were running into space. They just had nothing to do with it. They could not. They had no quality at the end for to actually create anything. It was very disappointing.
I just want one Dembele performance in a France jersey that, you know, that gets the comp makers going. And I don't mean the ones that put the parody ones out of the failures. I just want one game where it's like, okay, this is the winger that was supposedly made in a lab, 2-footed, can go down both sides, can play on both sides, and just beat his man in the purest sense of like the game, right? I just want one. Am I asking for too much? Like,
you talking about Dembele?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, he's a perfect winger that isn't even slightly close to perfect. Like, if you just read off his skills, you're like, this is the winger. This is the yeah, you said made in the lab. This is what you want. And then you see him on the pitch and you're like, oh, this is what you want. And then you're like, oh, that's not what you want. That's not it. I want something very different. Well, I don't know what he's doing.
It's a really big bait and switch. And I got triggered today because he made a foul on defense, and it reminded me so much of the foul in the World Cup final where he just puts his foot in. And look, I just like players that, regardless of how they're going with what they're good at, they still do the other parts. Obviously, that means defending. The big thing for me, bro, is just the work off the ball. Like, receiving the ball on the move is not something you see him do anywhere near as much as some of the other dribblers. And that's what really gets Mbappe going. You know, I don't like Mbappe when he's 50 yards away from goal doing his Ronaldo compilation mimics. I like him when he gets the ball on the move, plays quick 1-2s, and really gets running at the defense when they're not even ready for him. And
that's another thing. Yeah? Sorry, that's another thing where without Mbappe and with Rabiot on the left, it just completely took out Theo. Theo was not involved at all because multiple times Rabiot would get the ball and he would run, and Teo would start running and behind him to overlap, but then Rabiot would just run right into Teo's path. So Teo would just have to stop and wait, and then Rabiot would turn around and pass it back to Teo, and it's just like those are the instances where Mbappe would take the ball, run a little bit towards the middle, allow the overlap to go, and then play it in behind for Teo, and then he could get the ball back, and all these kind of combinations happen. They flow very, very smoothly together, them two, Mbappe and Teo, and that's another reason why Rabiot shouldn't be the one on the left. He's not a left-sided player. He doesn't understand the mechanics of it, and an actual winger probably could have gotten Teo more involved, because Teo was their most impactful offensive player in the first game by far.
I agree. I think that 1-2 game on the left-hand side was very important, and you didn't see him even make those runs today. Even if he did, he would have been cramped out.
Yeah.
And there was a couple moments today, man. Jeremy Frimpong, he was clearly being doubled, triple teamed on the right-hand side, and he still tried to go for it, and he just funneled himself into an absolute mess. And overall, from the game, man of the match, before we get into the other games, where's your mind at? I honestly, just a mid-pack all round for me.
I think it's either Kante or Mike. Maya.
Okay.
Maya made. Okay. I mean, the save on Frimpong is phenomenal. Yeah. And then, is that the only save he had?
I think he makes He makes a save on Gakpo, and he makes a save on in the first minute as well, obviously. And I've been pretty happy with him in that.
I mean, it's just there's nothing to pick from. You could tell me Kante, I'll take Kante. I'm fine with that one as well.
Okay. I really don't like doing legacy talk and everything, but I saw you tweet about it, and it's like, these aren't Kante's running it back games. Kante's just still a very good player, and
he's still one of the best midfielders in the world. Like like I said, he's not. There's sometimes where it's like a Modric performance, right? Where you see Modric play and he does like a little Trivela, and you're like, oh, class is permanent, and it's all that, and he's brilliant. But it's not Modric. You know that what you're watching is not what you used to watch. I'm watching Kante right now. I'm like, yeah, this is the guy that left, for sure. Same guy. He's doing the same. He's doing the same thing. He just looks fantastic. He looks, in some things, he looks even better than when he went to Saudi. I was like, this is incredible. I've watched him at Saudi, and he's been great. I watched him at Saudi, and he's been great. But I didn't expect him to just come back with this much energy. Which, let me just 1 second say.
Go.
Luciano Spalletti, you absolute moron. There's absolutely there's no footballing explanation for why Verratti's not in the squad. Like, this is why you're going to get stampeded by every team that has a good midfield. Because you left the most talented Italian midfielder that has lived for the past, 20 years. Okay, not lived. But, that has in the past 10 or 15 years. And you left him at home for Mikel Foloronchu and Fagioli. Like, it's so unforgivable, because the Italian national team is just so goddamn stuck up about these players that play abroad. They wouldn't call back in the day. They wouldn't call up Sebastian Giovinco, right, when he was balling at Toronto FC. They had no problem calling up every single mid-ass trash striker that played in Seattle.
Right. Who was it that they called from Sunderland? Borini,
Eder, Okaka. Oh my God, man! They would Joao Pedro. They nationalized Joao Pedro from Cagliari, not the current Joao Pedro, but they were just willing to play anybody, and they would not even give Giovinco the time of day because he played in a lesser league, right?
Yeah.
Doing the same thing with Verratti. Bearing in mind, they had absolutely no problem calling up Retegui when he was in 7th place in Argentina, but that's not a lesser league, because that's a league we accept. I mean, it's just unforgivable. It's especially unforgivable. I know Verratti didn't go to Saudi, but and the Qatari league is a significantly lower league than Saudi, but still, all the Saudi players got the calls. Almost every single one. Ronaldo and Neves both got their call-ups to Portugal. Brozovic obviously to Croatia. Demiral to Turkey. Wijnaldum got his call-up to Netherlands. Dude, everybody. I forgot he even went to Ittifaq, and when I saw him on the pitch in the first game, I'm like, oh right, and even he got a call up. So
Yeah,
how the hell did Verratti not get a call up?
yeah.
Unacceptable. And they're
The
paying the price of their own bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think this Italy team was going to do anything, but you look at Verratti towards the end because he didn't play a lot of the Euros. I think he was in and out of the
He,
11 with injuries
he
last
was
Euros.
he was injured at the beginning, then he came in at
Yeah,
the stage, and he played the
yeah,
whole way
yeah.
through.
And look, like we go back to that game, and it's just like this England team does not know how to pass the ball, keep the ball, do anything with the ball, despite having so many talented players.
Yeah.
And Italy just had a few guys that just stay calm, composed, and kill a goddamn game, and take it to penalties where Donnarumma gets a goddamn job done. And it is what it is, I guess.
Yep.
Another stain on England's legacy.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
just how they
All right.
roll.
Yeah. Let's get into it then. Rest of the games, as well as your predictions. Obviously, we've got now Austria versus Netherlands, which will be the second, third decider. I think they both should qualify, but it gets a bit risky. It gets a little bit risky. If you finish third, you're probably going to face up against the first team.
Mhm.
So what have you got there? Austria to Netherlands. So well coached Austria as well.
Yeah, Ralph Radnick, every United fan's dream.
I hate him. I hate him. No. I'm going to cut you off there because everyone's like, "Wow, he's saying the right things. He's doing all the right things." I could have told you those things that we needed open heart surgery. I could have. We
I
could have
I know.
done that.
He just people just love the guy who's brutally honest. Brutally honest is just another word for asshole. That's all that actually happened.
Yeah.
You're not if
Yeah.
you're the manager, the first, second, and third parts of your job description is lie, lie, and lie. You're supposed to lie. You're supposed to lie to the public.
Yeah.
And then you tell the truth in private. That's literally the job description. He was just an asshole to everybody all the time.
And for an interim manager, bro, you do not come in to an aging Man United squad halfway through a season and just say, okay, we're going to play the Leipzig model. We're literally just going to play all your wingers. Oh, yeah, you're now like these wide tens. The strikers now have to press while we had Ronaldo, Cavani. Cavani still could run, but we had Martial. Like, you can't just do a full Windows 11 update midway through the season. That's not how this works. It's not an overnight thing. You need to actually have a full preseason. And the worst type of interim manager is someone that's trying to be chaotic and fix everything. Just play a 4-4-2 if you have to. Just nice and simple. Get the vibes going. And he did none of that. He did none of that.
Yeah, I agree. But anyway, I mean, I think they'll just play it to a draw. Netherlands and Austria, I think they'll be both fine with a draw. A draw advances both of them pretty much. I don't think Austria will care that they finish second second or third. I don't think they'll care that much. They just want to qualify, and I think they'll just play out for a draw. And France will beat. Who is it? Slovakia. Slovakia. Yeah, they'll beat some. No, wait. Who did Austria play there?
Austria played.
It's bad that we don't know.
Poland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, France. France will beat Poland. They'll be fine.
It's been a long Euros, man. Already, like we're 9 days in. I've watched at least one game every day.
I've tried to watch as much as possible, but yeah.
Yeah. I can't keep this up because the games for us obviously 5 a.m. kickoffs. If we have a late night,
I don't know how
it's getting rough.
How you guys do that? Yeah,
it's getting rough.
I this Euros. I just feel like I try not to make these sweeping declarations about tournaments, especially given it's the group stage. But there's a lot of people that are like, it's the best tournament ever. Look at all the long range goals. It's like, man, it's been fine. It's been fine. There's like a few games that have like Georgia and Turkey that captivated the imagination. Other than that, I mean, Germany and Hungary was cool.
Yeah,
Other than that, what? Like, what other game is memorable?
I thought Spain Croatia was fun.
Fun, but it was done. So,
I'm not gonna tell my grandkids about it.
Croatia, Albania, that was dope.
Yeah, yeah. Thing is, I'm missing all these kickoffs because I'm planning for the 5 a.m. So I don't watch the 11 p.m. and 2 a.m.s,
Fair.
which is terrible. Yeah.
No, I get that, but yeah, it's just like they've been fine. I just feel like people have gotten a little bit carried away by it's the best tournament ever. So first of all,
Yeah.
you can't judge a tournament before the knockouts start, the actual part that actually matters. Literally, 16 of these 24 teams are going to advance. Like, who cares? Most of the tournament
Harder not to.
Yeah, it's like literally most of the tournament is going to advance. The knockouts is where it counts. That's where you make the money. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like people have gotten a little bit carried away.
The other thing that happens in international tournaments is everyone always talks about, wow, look at the unity. Look at oh, we can all get it's such a temporary thing, man. It's such a fleeting thing. It's not even
true. Everybody's still at war for their club teams. Well, especially England fans. England fans are still going to war for their own players.
Oh, I didn't even mean it like that. I meant like country to country, like in terms of world peace. But also what you're saying. What you're saying. You know, like just so much toxicity right now. And England sums that up to a T. And we keep going back to it. I'm having the time of my life knowing that my Man United boys are not involved right now. Like it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I agree.
All right. Yeah. All right. I think we'll wrap it up there, fellas. A big day of football. Another big day ahead tomorrow. We'll have Bader on spontaneously throughout. Before we wrap up, Bader, I've been doing this with every guest we've had on. Who is your football player comparison? Who do you play like?
Oh, God. I play like a terrible Serie A fullback. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Now, what I play like now, or like when I actually could play.
Okay. Well, first of all, we did not have primes. Okay, so stop all of that.
No. Come on, we had primes. We absolutely had primes.
I'm in my prime.
3 years ago, Bader would kick the crap out of me right now. Absolutely, it would be way better. But okay, I don't know. Di Lorenzo, somebody just fine.
Okay.
I was a fine fullback. I was fine.
Okay, so you want to be an NPC Serie A fullback is the comparison of it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So far,
who is your hold on? Use your football comparison.
Okay. So
I want to see how
over the years, my style has been compared to the bad parts of Bruno Fernandes, because I don't dribble. I learned football at a really late age, like 16, 17, 18. I didn't play it growing up, so I don't dribble. I refuse to. And that just means if I play the 10 or center mid, I just like to play direct balls. And it got to a point where I was playing so many direct balls. I was the most frequent shooter in our team, regardless of where I played, which I had the captain's armband, so it was okay. I was okay with it. But I'm trying to slow that side of my game down and turn into more of a controlling, a bit bridge the gap in between Frankie de Jong and Bruno Fernandes, and just somewhere in the middle of a normal midfielder. But because I can't dribble, man, I'd say Lingard and Thomas Muller are the guys.
Okay, that's not terrible.
Yeah,
that's not terrible.
Yeah.
Do you score or do you just shoot?
Yeah, I score. We have an Excel spreadsheet up this season because we're playing well. I'm leading goals and assists right now.
Okay,
it won't happen. It won't stay that way.
No, but that's fine. That's fine. You could you should print that Excel sheet, put it up somewhere, frame it, just be like I'm the best. Yeah, for sure. If you get goals, then you could get that comparison. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. You know Griggs from Twitter. He said he was Socrates. Papastadopoulos.
Oh, Okay, fine, that's fine. I thought he
Oh
was talking about Socrates.
no,
I was like,
no, 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 no,
that's a
no,
bit
no.
ambitious, but all
No.
right.
Bro, he's young. He's like me. We don't go all the way that
I'm
far.
just saying, if you say Socrates, nobody is thinking about Papadopoulos. Like,
Bro, if you played FIFA 14, I don't know. I don't know which one which one comes first.
yeah.
And then we had a couple. We had Andre Onana. We had another Michael from Ireland. That said he was Andre Onana. My mate Jono. He's N'Golo Kante. He just runs. He just runs. He just
Okay.
runs. He wants to be Kevin De Bruyne. But yeah, he's just a runner.
That's a very big. There's a very big gap between there's like N'Golo Kante here and there's Kevin De Bruyne here, and they don't have anything in common.
Yeah.
He's very far away from what he wants.
I think the N'Golo Kante comparisons in high school for him were based on a little bit of skin color and a little bit of how much he smiles.
Okay.
And yeah, that was probably part of it. And he does run a lot. He runs the most if we play a six-a-side game.
Mhm.
Apart from that, he does think of himself as a connoisseur of like that whipped pass, which
Okay.
I just disagree with. I disagree.
All right, fair enough. Yeah.
Do you think Belgium's getting anywhere right
No.
now, or is it just
They suck, man. They're terrible. I keep seeing who was it? I feel like I saw somebody tweet like, "Oh, Belgium really reloaded," and I looked at their squad and I'm like, "No, they didn't. They really just didn't." Like they're starting Andre Onana, not the goalkeeper, and Orel
it's
Manga.
not Andre?
Is that Andre? Amadou
It's
Onana.
not.
I'm
Did
sorry.
you
I'm
see that
tired.
clip?
No.
Did you see that clip?
Of him.
He corrects a British pundit, journalist, and he's
Oh.
like, "It's not Andre, mate."
I did not see that. Sorry,
Yeah.
I did. I thought you thought that was. I should have said I saw it, and that was a joke. But no, I'm just tired as hell. So Amadou Onana and Orel Mangala is the midfield pivot. I'm just like, yeah, no, you're not going
Not
a
moving.
single place. You're going to 3 cities in Germany, 1 other city in the knockout rounds, and then you're going straight to Brussels. You're going home. Yeah.
Let's see how it goes. We'll have you back on. Subscribe to Badair Ball. If you are on football Twitter, you already know Badair. But if you're not, get familiar. We'll have all the ads in the description below. So please subscribe. He's going to be more consistent. He told me that 2 years ago. He told me that last year. He told me that last week. And he's going to do it. He's going to do it.
One
Trust me,
day.
guys. My reputation is on the line, brother. My reputation is on the line.
One day I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be like really shocking to me and to everyone else. And it's gonna,
We got this
for sure.
We got this. We're keen, and obviously we got the World Cup in 2 years. We did a video a couple years back on what that World Cup would look like, but hopefully look forward to linking up with you then, my friend. But for now, stay tuned, stay locked in, fellas.
All right, see you, man.